Hello everybody, this is Ryan from Rintendo, and unfortunately this week I cannot do an episode of Rintendo Talks. However, hopefully this is a decent substitute. As you can tell, I'm a bit congested and I'm not fully recovered from my sickness. So we're going to be doing an MCU tier list to kind of fill that void and give y'all a little bit of entertainment. So there's only one movie I'd actually put in worse than F, and we'll get to that. uh, but the MCU is actually a big part of my childhood, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, let's just get into this. Thor. So this is a B tier movie. Actually, I'm putting it in C. I'm gonna be a little harsh on these movies, alright? If I'd have to put it subjectively, I'd probably go at B, because I like almost all the MCU movies. They're all fun to watch, at some parts at least. But this movie was it was a movie. That's all I can really say. It's not terrible. It's not. I'm not gonna be like, ooh, I want to watch Thor again. Like, no. Like, you will watch it on your MCU rewatch list. You're not gonna skip over it like you maybe would a couple of these movies. Maybe I wouldn't. I'd still watch all of them, except for the one that I put in worse than F. Um, but honestly, nothing really special goes on here. Chris Hemsworth eyebrows look absolutely hideous. His eyelashes, eyebrows look absolutely hideous. When I think of Thor, the first one, that's all I can think of in my brain. Um, that's all I can really say. Heimdall is great. Odin's great. Loki is great. Natalie Portman, she's still an overrated actress. Continue on. Doctor Strange is a B tier. This is actually probably one of the most overrated movies in the MCU. It's still a fun time though. It's better to watch. And it's trippy as hell. And I think it's pretty good. So that's all I can really say. The villain was but I like Dormammu, so that kind of makes up for it. Ant-Man I'd actually put top of B tier. It's actually pretty fun to watch. It's not objectively a good movie. But, well, it's not objectively a great movie, but I actually do find it funner to watch than most of these movies, because Ant-Man is great. And, yeah. Okay. And Cassie, that's the daughter's name, right? Absolutely great. Alright, Avengers. Middle B tier movie. It's still good, obviously. It's probably my least favorite of the Avengers films. It's just that I don't know. It's very early 2010s, and you can just kind of see that with this. And there's another pet peeve I have. You know what? You know that stereotype in every movie when someone talks like when someone talks about like tech and stuff, and then the other person's like, "What are you talking about?" You know, like when they're like really like overcomplicated with that tech stuff. It's kind of how I feel with a lot of these jokes in the movie. They bring up all these tech sophisticated words, and it's so cringy. I don't know. I'll probably leave it in the comment section what I actually mean by that, because it's hard to explain just on the spot. But this I mean, it's the Avengers, so it has to be good. Tony Stark, absolutely great. Thor, great. Hawkeye, underused. Hulk, also underused. Captain America, still overrated. Black Widow, also good. And Loki as a villain is beautiful. So, yeah. Ant-Man the Wasp, top B tier, I think is better than the first Ant-Man. But it is also still really fun to watch. The Wasp, great. Ant-Man, great. Who keeps on messaging me? I can't look at this right now. Who is it? Oh gosh, it's Jermaine. Bruh. My friend just texted me on Xbox with that speed crap. He's like, yo, God is good. God is great. Oh gosh. Well, what's wrong with the people in this generation? Alright, continuing on. Ant-Man is great as usual. The villain is very lackluster though. Ghost, I think that's her name, right? Mid. So continuing on, The Eternals is actually not a horrible movie. It's not great though, honestly. It's yeah, it's C tier. I'm sorry. Actually, no, it's fun to watch. I came out of the theater thinking, oh crap, this was so long. Like, it wasn't even that much longer than Spider-Man No Way Home, but this movie, it felt so long. It felt like a 4-hour movie, not even gonna lie. Like, the fight scenes were really, the only good fight scene was the last one at the end. Wasn't that on a beach or something? Like, is it, oh gosh, I don't remember all of them. Is it Makari who can go speed and crap? That cinematography, they nailed it. It's better than The Flash. Not saying the character's better than The Flash, but the way they handled like the film scenes. Like, I don't like when they do slow motion for Flash scenes, but that camera action in that part, it's absolutely great. I don't remember a lot about this movie. That's not a good thing, because I guess that means it is a tad bit forgettable, but it's definitely different. It's ambitious. They're bringing, is it like 10 Eternals into one movie? So, I mean, it's pretty decent for what they tried to do. So, it's good. It's not great though, but it's definitely still watchable. Thor Ragnarok. I'm gonna get, people are gonna hate me for this. Dude. Oh gosh, it's either after Ant-Man the Wasp or before it. Crap. It's supposed. Oh gosh. I was rewatching this. All right, I rewatched all the Ant-Man. Not Ant-Man. I rewatched all the Avengers movies, and I was like, yeah, might as well rewatch Thor Ragnarok because like why not? And I couldn't finish it, not because it was that bad, just because like I just didn't want to. It got like pretty boring. It's still the best out of the 3 Thor movies, obviously. I hope Thor Love and Thunder is better because the Guardians, right? They're in it, correct? I may be wrong, but I just want to see more Star-Lord, to be perfectly honest. And the rest of the Guardians, obviously, but Star-Lord is just fantastic. But the humor really does land. Korg is one of the best characters in the MCU. But other than that, it's honestly a bit overrated. It was pretty funny. But other than that, could be better. Hela was one of the better villains, though. So yeah, Avengers: Age of Ultron. This is where it goes A tier. This movie is actually very underrated. This is people say that this is not as good as the first Avengers. I just completely disagree. This movie is great. I absolutely love it. They brought in Vision and Quicksilver got shot, which was not pleasant. But other than that, I loved Ultron. He's a top 5 MCU villain, maybe top 3. And I absolutely just loved this movie. It's actually really fun to watch. And is Vision in this movie? Yeah, Vision's good as well. So yeah, there we go. WandaVision. Next up, we have WandaVision. That's probably good. This is a pretty good place to put it. Not going to lie to y'all. WandaVision. I keep on saying Wanda mid. Like Wanda's mid. I do it as a joke. I actually don't think Wanda's mid. She got to enslave the whole town for some robot cock though, which not the greatest of decisions, to be perfectly honest. I don't blame her for what she did, because if you're that emotionally heartbroken too, I mean, yeah, you kind of want to fill your void with stuff, you know. I don't know what went through her mind when she did this. I guess she was too down bad with Ultron, and I don't know, her mental state was basically evaporated at this point. So yeah, but I do like the mysterious aspects of the show, and honestly, if I'd be completely honest with y'all, this got me back into the MCU. It's a great show. I really do think that. And people calling it mid, they're either I don't know what these people are. They're just cringy 12-year-olds that are saying this. Because like this, it's not a mid show. You just don't understand it if you truly don't like it. Next up, Iron Man 2. Oh, okay. Still A tier, obviously, because it's literally Robert Downey Jr., for gosh sakes. but it is the weakest of the three Iron Man movies. This movie, it's still good, obviously. Uh, they recasted Mr. His name's at the top of my tongue. Oh my gosh. Rhodey, which was a great decision. I love this. I love War Machine in this movie. Don Cheadle, he's great. Black Widow. Okay, she was the biggest woman like spy stereotype of all time. But it was, yeah, she's there. Happy, great comedic relief. Whiplash was one of the weaker villains. I think his suit is absolutely hideous. And I think there's some concept art, I think, like unused concept art that showed what his outfit could have looked like, or it was like a fan made concept, but it looked so much better than that, so much better than this, and it's just it's still a good movie though, nice action, good story, but it's just still the weakest of the three. Loki, top A. This show is really good. It is the weirdest thing I've ever watched in the MCU. Sylvie, she's new. That's all I can say right now. She's good. Loki, absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Owen Wilson as Mobius, right, as one of the best casting choices of all time. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I like it. I'm ready for season 2 because that's the only show so far that I think actually deserves a season 2 in terms of MCU shows. Falcon the Winter Soldier. From a subjective standpoint, I'd probably put it. These are literally tied for me. Usually, depends what I'm feeling. Honestly, one day I'd say that Loki's better, and the other day I'd say Falcon the Winter Soldier's better. But just from like an objective standpoint, I kind of have to put Loki above. Falcon the Winter Soldier is still such an overhated show. Sam Wilson is so much better of a Captain America than Steve Rogers for 1,000 reasons. First of all, Sam Wilson, you can relate to this dude more. First of all, because he does have superpowers, so he's more of a brave individual. Honestly, it makes him more wholehearted. Wholehearted. His character's better. His character arc is better. I'm not crapping on Steve Rogers, obviously, but I just think Sam Wilson is such a better Captain America. I love his suit. It's so good. My friend hates the new suit. I'm like, how? You're a menace to society. It's absolutely great. Bucky is great. Nice comeback. And yeah, the villain. I don't know. I didn't like Carly that much. Just another basic villain. However, I really did like John Walker as the U.S. agent. I liked it a lot. It fits so well in this government type story. And that's some of the MCU that I really do miss, is this government type, less magical side of the MCU. And, sometimes I'm feeling the magic side, and sometimes I'm just feeling like the more government, the government side of the MCU. But I do like the show a lot, actually. Spider-Man No Way Home, this is arguably the best film ever made, in my opinion. And it is the best MCU movie. That's not a very controversial opinion, obviously. I was hyped for this movie for like 4 months. And, or like 5 or 6 at this point. 6 or 7 at this point. And, all the wait was paid off completely. I saw this movie twice in the span of 2 days. The suits are absolutely magical. The best suits ever. His integrated suit is god tier. Tobey Maguire is a whole nother level of a masterpiece in this movie. Andrew Garfield's actually even better in this movie. It completely redeems his character from his 2 other movies. Actually, arguably, he was the best part of the other 2 movies. Because, we can all agree that the Amazing Spider-Man movies aren't the greatest, but I actually think I actually like the second one quite a bit. But this movie was just everything. The pacing was great. Like, this movie was really long, but it didn't feel long at all, because you were hooked from the start to the end. Zendaya, she's honestly not my favorite in terms of MJ, but she's still better than Tobey Maguire's MJ. So that's all that really matters. Ned Solo's fiction. Doctor Strange, he's in there. So yeah, he's cool, obviously. The villains, there was literally 5 or 6 villains in this movie, and all of them were great. Like, it didn't ruin the movie at all. It did not ruin this pacing whatsoever. It was just such a fleshed out movie that the producers and directors and actors and everybody who worked on this movie, they actually truly cared about this, and that's what I love to see. So yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. All right, in-game. Better than Infinity War, which is also very unpopular. This was the perfect end to the saga. What is that saga called? Crap, my brain is in shutdown mode. It's like, what time is it? It's literally almost 11 o'clock at night. So my brain is not functioning to its fullest capacity. But all the characters are here at the end. You know, the fight scene with the last battle was absolutely incredible. Probably one of the best fight scenes ever. Just ever in terms of any movie whatsoever. I saw this movie 3 times, and I cried, I think, and I think in all 3 of them I cried a little bit. I at least teared up in the 3rd one. Because Tony Stark is arguably, I think he's a top 3 fictional character of all time. In the 80s, people went from no one knowing who Iron Man was, like, who the frick cares? He's irrelevant, to him being one of the most monumental superheroes of all time. So it's honestly just really nice to see, and it's just a beautiful conclusion. It's not so a movie, it's more of a cinematic experience than it is a movie. So, yeah, it's probably why some people don't like it as much as Infinity War, because it actually doesn't feel like a movie. It's a whole different thing, really. It's just a conclusion, really, alright? And that's a good thing, in my opinion, so yeah. Shang-Chi. This is actually arguably low S. This movie is so this actually is not underrated, my bad. But no one had any hype for this movie before it came out. But then, when everyone came out of the theater, we were like, holy crap, this movie's actually really good. And it is. Simu Liu, oh gosh, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. Simu Liu, sorry, Liao. I'm sorry. I've been trying to practice that. I don't really know. If anyone wants to help me pronounce that in the comments, please. That'd be nice. Aquafina, her jokes do get very, they get kind of stale sometimes, but she's still a fun time, obviously. Shang-Chi, absolutely great. He's gonna be probably a lot of children's favorite superheroes growing up, and I honestly see why. This dude's great. I love his powers. The action was fantastic. The CGI was top charts CGI. It was great, just peak. And the villain was also like a top 10 MCU villain. So I honestly love everything about this movie. It just doesn't compare to the 2 GOATs that are Spider-Man No Way Home and Avengers Endgame. Okay, speaking of Avengers, Infinity War. Oh crap, what did I do? Okay, this is a low S movie. It is still absolutely incredible, but I don't think it does by a little bit. Beats Shang-Chi just a tad. I love Infinity War so much. It's so good. People actually put this usually higher than Endgame, and I kind of see why, but not really. I just love the whole time traveling aspect of an Endgame. And Infinity War is still a fun time though. It's everything that Endgame is, but Endgame kind of just built upon that and made it like just a great conclusion. So overall, Infinity War is peak, but it just doesn't stand. It's just not close to Endgame level. So yeah. Civil War, another low S movie. Come on, y'all. Another low S movie. I love this movie. It's so good. It's everything I want it to be, and I'm also Team Iron Man. Team Iron Man is completely in the right here. Uh, I don't know if I'm biased just because I like Iron Man more, but from what I've thought, from the thinkings that I've been thoughting, that make absolutely zero sense. But I just think Iron Man is actually fundamentally right in this situation, and I love the action. It was so good. That airport scene was top 5 fights in the MCU. Spider-Man, obviously the GOAT, Tom Holland, his first appearance in here couldn't have been any better. Black Panther, also fantastic, and everyone in here just did their absolute best, and it worked out pretty good. Aha! Spider-Man Homecoming is a top 3 MCU movie. I love it so much. It is really good. I love this homey, kind of campy, uh, lighthearted MCU movie. It's really fun. The comedic value is very up there. I love it so much. The humor is great. I love the Stark suit, even though it does feel a bit CGI at some points. Tom Holland will always be the best Spider-Man. I don't know about always. Maybe we'll get like a really, really good Miles. But Iron Man obviously just makes it even better. Vulture is a really good starter villain. Aunt May, overrated, but still pretty good. And I just love this movie so much. It's just so good. I could watch it literally any time and not get bored of it. Ned is peak fiction, by the way. And that love interest that Peter had, it was really cool how they went like a different route and like had her as a love interest for the first movie, so that was pretty cool. Iron Man 1, aha. You go right there. The best out of the Iron Mans. Stain is one of the weaker villains, but everything else just carries this movie. Such a great start to the wonderful MCU. And I liked it quite a lot. I love it so much. Just so good. So good. Pepper Potts is great as well, so yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a top MCU movie. I think it's better than Guardians 1. It's funnier. The soundtrack is just godly. Yondu, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Rip to him. Star-Lord, absolutely love him. Gamora, yep, she's there. Rocket Raccoon, great. Groot, fantastic. Drax, underused. And they nerfed him a lot for comedic value, which is a bit on the stupid side. I just, yeah, why did they do that? But still a great time, and I just like it a lot. Incredible Hulk, sorry I've not seen this. I don't care about seeing this. It's not, I don't even count it as canon, because it's not even the same actor. But yeah, it's probably a stupid excuse, but yeah, okay. This is a top C. What If? What If is a top C. The episodes are either hit or miss, and that is why I'm putting it so low. It's still better than 4, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I might have to switch these two. Actually, no, that seems about right. But I don't know, man. The first episode was good. Second episode was not good. Third episode was good. Fourth episode is overrated. I don't really like that Doctor Strange episode. I didn't really like that Doctor Strange episode that much. Episode 5. I think... Oh, is that the Vibranium crap one? I didn't like that one. Well, actually, I don't remember. I liked the serial killer one. I think that was episode 6. That was good. Episode 7 was good. I think episode 7 was the best. And episode 8 was a pretty lackluster but decent conclusion to that season. This was a very ambitious series, and I don't blame them for making it, but execution could have been a bit better. So yeah, it's alright. Black Widow, okay. Top C, I guess. Nah, I'm doing this. You go down there and you go, yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. Crap, I guess the turtle just stays up there and you go up here. I've seen Black Widow twice, actually. The best part about this movie was the intro. That, like, shocked my soul to the core. It was so heart-wrenching and sad to watch. That intro, if you know what I'm talking about. It just amazed me that the MCU actually made that. Like, Marvel made that. It's crazy. It just didn't feel MCU at all, and I loved it. Yelena and Natasha, they're pretty good couple, sister. Yeah, you know what I mean. Not like an actual couple. It's weird as hell because they are not biologically, but sisters. So their relationship was really good, and their dynamic, right? Yeah, dynamic. Yeah, a partnership kind of thingy. It worked great. That's what I'm trying to say here. The father, mother, villain, yeah. Well, Taskmaster was not a good villain, but the other, I forgot his name. That dude was evil. Like the probably like top 3 evil MCU villains. Like, weird dude indeed. But it's just bland. Honestly, it's weird. This movie, if it didn't come out and like after Civil War, then it did not need to be made at all. It just didn't work. COVID screwed this crap up. COVID screwed this movie up like absolutely horribly. So yeah. But yeah, Iron Man 3. Okay, this is getting better. It's either top A or low S. Probably I'm just gonna put it to oh gosh, it's a top A movie. Okay, I love it. I used to have all 3 of the Iron Man movies in S, but I've been a lot more strict when it comes to these rankings. It's good. It's everything that the second movie was. It kind of just built upon it. I love the suits. The suit that Iron Man is wearing in this thumbnail right here, this poster. This is just a fantastic suit. I wish it was used more. And the battle with all the Iron Man suits at the end was also really cool. Pepper Potts is great. That little kid, I forgot his name, is nice as well. He was actually in the funeral scene in Endgame, which I was pointed out in a YouTube video. I think it was a YouTube video about. I think that's when I got. I think that's when I realized that in a YouTube video. But it's a good movie, obviously. Slightly better than Guardians 2. So yeah. Homecoming, actually better. This movie is really fun to watch. It's probably not one of the better movies in terms of like objective based, but I love it still so much. It's so fun. Nick Fury is great. Mysterio is a great villain. Jake Gyllenhaal, and I absolutely love it. So yeah. Hawkeye. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a top C though. This was the most disappointing MCU movie of all time. I mean, show of all time. I was hyped out of my mind because Haley Steinfeld, she's been one of my favorite actors since about 5th grade, and that's probably a part of me. But that's probably partly because I'm down bad, like horrendously bad. But it's probably weird that I've seen The Edge of 17 at age like 11 or 12, but that is actually a really underrated movie. I'll stop saying underrated. It's probably getting very annoying at this point. But that movie's actually really good. You should go see it. It's a hidden gem. Alright. And Bumblebee, she's also really good in that. And I also just love Hawkeye in general. Both of them. They're both Hawkeye at this point, right? Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld. Like, the characters were so good. And then the plot kind of just, Like, the pacing was, like, very weird. And I don't know what this show was trying to be, but it didn't work out that good. Like a mafia, like crime show, I didn't understand it. Parts of it were good and it's funny, and Yelena was in there for like no reason, but I love it. Yeah, that's all I can really say, man. That CGI owl in that tree was absolutely hilarious because I was like, that is the worst CGI I have ever seen in the MCU in the past 5 years. Except for Black Panther. Oh gosh, that scene at the end. Oh gosh, that fight scene. The Black Panther and Killmonger, that is some of the worst CGI of all time. But yeah. Hawkeye, honestly disappointing, but some parts of it were still really fun and good to watch. So yeah, really good fun. Thor: The Dark World. Yeah. No, okay, this goes D. Never mind. It's not good. Not at all. It's everything that the first one was and made it significantly worse. Natalie Portman as a love interest does not work with Thor at all. It's absolutely horrendous. But I hope they kind of make it better in Love and Thunder, so yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. This is still good. Probably goes right here. I think, right? Yeah, it's fun. It's still really fun. And I love it. Obviously, it's just not as good as Volume 2. Alright, y'all. Now I'm going to piss off some people. Before I rank Black Panther as a movie, I just want to point out 3 things. I am not a racist, first of all. Second of all, I love people of all colors. And third of all, again, I'm not racist. I just want to have my opinion out there. I do not like this movie at all. I think it's actually horrible. It's barely watchable. I actually rewatched this recently. Even when I was 8 or 9, I just walked out of the theater thinking, this movie is not good. I suddenly developed my taste for criticism after I left that theater, because, it was not good. I was rewatching it alright with my friend, and for the first 45 minutes, I was like, oh, wait, is this actually good? And after that, completely downhill, not good. The characters are the only thing that's saving this movie. The plot is, why? Who cares? It's boring. The pacing was okay, and I just hate this movie. It's just not good. I don't know what else to say. It's just not good. Honestly, if I put an F, that honestly just insults the letter F. Okay, sorry. The first Avenger. No. It's not that good, honestly. I'd still watch it, but it's just... I was trying to rewatch it for the second time, and, yeah. I don't know. I liked it when I watched it the first time, like a year ago, and I was like, I just don't like it that much anymore, so that's just kind of sad. But, yeah. The Winter Soldier. This is a bottom B movie. Actually, nah, I can't do that. This is, I guess, right here, I guess. People put this top 5, and I'm like, how? I love the government side of the MCU, but this is just not it. It was so fun in some parts. I forgot even who the villain was. They were that forgettable. Who was the villain? Okay, I'm not going to question it. But Natasha is great. And Nick Fury, Captain America, good. But yeah, the rest of this movie just bland. It just in between. So yeah. And lastly, Captain Marvel. This is... Yeah, right here. Oh gosh, I think it's right there. It's actually not that bad. I don't like Captain Marvel as a character that much. I promise I'm not a sexist, but she has no personality to her. She's bland. She's kind of an asshole, to be perfectly honest, and I just don't like her character. It's like talking to a brick. Honestly, sorry, I'm kind of being harsh, but yeah. Nick Fury is great to hear. Honestly, Nick Fury kind of just saves some of these movies. Nick Fury just adds to a lot of these movies. I love that. But I love the 70s vibe. I loved the 70s vibe of this movie. And, is that Monica Rambeau's, mom? I forgot her name. But yeah, she's in here. And she's alright, I guess. So yeah. But, honestly... It's just Captain... If Captain Marvel was played by literally anyone else, this would probably be like a middle B movie. But it's just not. So, yeah. And that concludes our list. Sorry about Hulk, by the way. Still just don't care about that movie. But, I hope you guys somehow liked my ranking. A lot of y'all are probably pissed because this is not in the ordinary for a list. I got Black Panther at worse than F. I have Thor Ragnarok at B tier. I have Captain America the Winter Soldier at B tier. I have a lot of movies and places where other people would definitely not put it there. But yeah, I'm a bit different. So with that being said, guys, this took way longer than I thought because it actually went somewhat in depth in my ranking. So, what time is it right now? It is 11:10, so I think it is time for me to go to bed. Next episode, I promise I'll have an episode of Rintendo Talks out. But this week I just felt too not good. I just didn't feel good for this. I didn't feel good enough to film another podcast for this week, but to record another podcast this week. But I love you guys. So you probably hear the absolute tiredness of my voice. But I gotta go to bed, y'all. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you all. Be safe and be good people.